was gonna wait a little longer, but we're already kind of running late. Oopsies, I lost track of time. Doesn't matter. We're here now. Hi friends, how's it going? I have a llama in my lap, and she's being extra demanding right now, so excuse me while I juggle a cat and stream. But hi. I think I've got everything I need. I have some water. I have the tail end of a soda, but it's fine. I don't need another one. I have Lamia. I'm bundled up. I think I'm good to go. And I didn't eat just before I sat down to play some Zomboid, so like we're solid. We're good. I feel like this is very loud, so I'm gonna turn it down just a smidge. And that's fine. But hi friends, how's it going? How are you doing? Lamia has decided to rest her head in my hand. So I can't play games right now. I'm sorry. Birdie, you're just sad that Bert's not around, and that's understandable, but he'll come back. Maybe. If he doesn't turn into a zombie. Don't worry about it. It's okay. I promise. Hold on. Sorry, Lamia's being a goober right now. I wish I could show you like, what she's doing, but I can't. Hi, can I have my hand back? I'm taking it back. Okay, good. 100% sure that Bert will be fine. It's fine. He's fine. Totally fine. He's just extremely nauseous at this point. Completely unrelated to the zombie bite that he has sustained. I'm sure it's fine. Sorry, hold on. Okay. Yeah. It's great. I wasn't entirely sure that I would like Project Zomboid as much as I do, but I like Project Zomboid. It's official. This just in. I do like Project Zomboid. But this isn't a Zomboid stream. We're doing some Evil Within this evening. It's gonna be great. There's gonna be a lot of nonsense happening. He just needs to find some extra blood. I'm sure that will help the situation if he just finds a little extra blood. Sometimes that's all you gotta do, is pack a little extra blood for when yours falls out. I am gonna tell Spotify to get the fuck out of here. We are gonna open this up. Game, come here. You have already stolen my mouse from me. So here's hoping that it's not too loud. Volume good so far? Let's go ahead and continue. I don't remember what has occurred. I think we just killed Dr. Man's brother? And we're looking for Leslie? That sounds about right. Also, when did we get so many bullets? This seems too quiet. This seems a little too quiet. So let's just go ahead and turn everything up a little bit. Like, please. Okay, you want me to use my WADS keys. I'm not gonna do that. We're not doing that. How we were saving pickle juice for another upgrade. It's all slowly coming back to me. Let's see how bad this mirror sounds. This good? That looks a little quiet, if I do say so myself. I mean, we got some wiggle room as far as sound is concerned. I can turn things up. Yeah. Luna, thank you for the bubble. I am gonna turn it up. It's too quiet. I am making the executive decision that it's too quiet. That looks a little better for now. Come here, microphone. Microphone, come here. We have too many matches. This doctor is going to get shot. Well, I hope you have a good time and that if things don't necessarily get better, that it is a nice little reprieve from all the stuff that's going on, Luna. Thanks for stopping in and saying hi, though. We love you. Take care of yourself. Be safe and careful. And it's nice to hear from you. We love you, Luna. Facts. But yeah, enjoy your time out. Is there anything cool over here? No. Is this that's the melee button. Great. What's this?
We must find my patient, Leslie.
Harpoons. Who is that? Those are scarecrows. Those aren't actual people. I need not be afraid. I'm trying to remember what all the controls are. Honestly. I'm doing much better than anticipated. Real talk. What was that? I don't want to burn these, though. Okay, can we get up there? I remember that one dude showed up and threw a lady on the fire. And that's all I know. This is the house where the doctor was in. Do I go in here? Right? Pig, show us the way. Show us the way. What is in here? Hello? Or, if we could find a little more pickle juice, that would be cool too. I wouldn't mind that at all. I thought that was like a Spider-Man mask for a second. That's incorrect. I can't open that. You go faster. Is this where we came in from? That doesn't seem right. Here, I found it. We have located it. Also, I think I updated content warnings and game link. I'm pretty sure I did. We drinking from Man Juice brand pickle juice today? Quite possibly. At this point, look, I'm just fiending for some pickle juice. I will take whatever I can get. Be it man flavored or content warning is updated. Okay, cool, thank you. I thought I had gotten that done, but sometimes I think I do things and then I don't. We'll take Man Juice brand pickle juice. We'll take the pickle brand pickle juice.
He's gone down there.
I just want to find Leslie. I love Leslie. My sweet, sweet boy. Let's go. That feels like that's where they want me to go. Hello? There's so many harpoons around here and I want all of them. I want... Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Everything is perfect. Everything is right with the world. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. I love her. So much. Hello? Okay, what is this? Ammo? They're being awfully generous right now, which makes me a little concerned.
Leslie.
Hi, baby!
Dr. Menace is here.
Stop
Settle
touching
down.
him!
Wait, Doc. I think something's coming.
Why? What is happening to my chin?
Here.
Settle down.
What is this bad sound? What was this? What is this wiggles that I'm seeing? Ah!
Something scary.
Hello?
Still.
No! 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 No!
No. No.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
Where is it? Yeah! Get it off!
No. Stay right here.
Right in the booty!
Something here.
Settle down.
I don't see its wiggles anymore.
Something scary.
I understand that, Leslie. Listen, buddy.
No. No.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
Okay, okay. This is fine. This is fine. How is sound?
Are you still out there?
I'm here! I haven't gone anywhere.
This place is a death trap.
Hi,
Is there anywhere
Leslie.
safe at all?
I think that's unlikely.
Stop
Get out.
pushing him around.
We must be going this way.
Can't get away.
It was extremely
Can't
rude.
get
Like,
away.
you know, sometimes there are invisible enemies in games, but you can usually see, like, they have, like, a slight shimmer to them. So it's hard to spot them, but you can spot them. I thought I saw him with a shimmer every once in a while, but it was very
We must
difficult
be
to
collectively
see,
losing our minds.
and I didn't like it.
Losing our minds.
Losing
our minds. Losing our
maybe.
minds. Losing our minds.
Hi, Leslie, you're okay.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that man was just straight up not there. Maybe. They might leave footprints. I mean, I saw where he was at one point because he, like, pushed a book around.
It is you. Leslie.
Who the hell
My
are you?
baby.
No. Don't follow.
I'm gonna follow.
What the?
Yeah, it's when I managed to get him is when I saw him, like,
Doctor,
hit the book around. So I think I
Leslie.
just have to pay attention to, like, the environment a little more. But that's...
Fuck.
Scatter! Oh, I don't like this visual. Look, game, I turned off motion blur for a reason, okay? Hold on a second. Lamia, I love you, and I love the fact that you just want to snuggle all of the time now. But I can't have you on my lap at the moment, okay, baby? Hi. Sorry. I love this cat so much. But she is such a turd. So demanding all of the time. I'm giving you the smiley blanket. You should be pleased. Okay? I'm gonna set you down on the couch. I can't carry you. I can't hold you in my lap. Okay? Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Look at her. Look at her. Look at this. This right here. You're all snuggled up. Yeah. Fucking love my cat. She's so goddamn good. Alright. I do have cat fur, like, all over my mouth now, though. So that kind of sucks. And of course, it's, like, right after I put on chapstick. Love that. She is perfect. Even when she's being a turd hole. Farley. That's not for you. Hi, Rare Cat. I love you, but don't eat her food. Alright. Ah, excuse. Rude. It's Bert's blood! Perfect. So much jam. Speaking of, I didn't think anyone would be upset about this. I got strawberry preserves instead of strawberry jam, because I find that jam tends to be a little too sweet, and they didn't have the brand that I like, whose name I cannot remember. But I know what it looks like. It's one of those situations, you know how it goes. But I have preserves for Friday. I got the turkey for Friday. I got bread. I also bought off-brand Frosted Flakes as my cereal of choice. Yo, I would've, but they did specify, game did specify strawberry jam. So I figured I'd meet them halfway and do the strawberry preserves. I am extremely excited about this horribly cursed sandwich. There are plenty of foods that I have seen and heard of in games that I'm just like, that's questionable at best. This one seems legit. Can we not fall into everything? But also, I do be wanting that that jalapeno jelly. Gib, please. Bad. We have died. It's good you gotta play York theme while you eat it. If it's bad, you play Carol's song. I'll make sure to have both up and ready to go. I'm hoping it's good. I genuinely hope it's good, because I think we talked about it not too long ago, but I think, like, we discussed the, like, flavor pairing that comes with this sandwich, right? With the turkey and the preserves and the cereal. I think they could work well together. It's gonna be fun trying to figure out the, like, ratio. What might work best with what? Do I have full health now? That's what I meant to check. Where is it? I don't. Okay, that's a little unfortunate, but that's fine. Yeah, I kinda know cooking. Like I said, just given what we've got here, I think it's gonna work well. I have hope for this. I'm not entirely sure how I avoided those bullets, but I did. Not gonna look a gift horse in the mouse. Mouse? Mouth. Words. Difficult. I'm just thinking about blowing up. Fuck. We're just gonna... We were just some hips. We were just hips. Oops, all hips. Okay, this is a bit of an issue. Don't look a gift mouse in the horse. Just don't do it. Please. I'm sorry, my brain is not at peak functioning. Brain. It's fine. It's all fine. Is this the one? I didn't flip this one. That's extremely close to Sebastian's face. I'm gonna pull it. Is that... Are you alive? My dude. Okay, hold on. There were some bullets around. I am inside my shoulder? Camera, what are you doing? Please. I need to be able to see past us. Fruity, no! Not the Super Auto Pets knowledge. Also, this room is very jammy. Okay, I want to disarm all of these bombs. Because they give us good items, right? Not Brother Sam. Fruitier monster. Actual monster. Need a Steam account just to play. What have you done? What have you done? Alright. I don't know entirely where I'm supposed to go. That's okay. There was a ladder out here, wasn't there? There was also one in here that I have not looked at. Just trying to make sure that we're, like, going everywhere we need to go. Look! You're gonna dump that on my head! I know how this works! No! I'm sorry, I can kick this? Sebastian, I swear to God, if you fall off that... If you fall down, we're gonna have a problem. Can I not just, like, pick it up? Hey, buddy. No. Not the... No. That's a bad gif. Okay, I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to do with those just yet, so we're not gonna bother with it. What is this? Sebastian is very wiggly in, like, all the worst possible ways. I want to go there so I can disarm this trap, but I was very scared that we were gonna run into it before I could get over here. Kinda like that. That trap is inaccessible. I just want all of the scrap so I can make bolts. That's all. That's all I want. Game says no, not allowed. You can't do shit. Yeah, but Sebastian doesn't like to do things. This is the one that sends the man down the chute, right? Yeah. We got bullets there. I'm gonna do this again. Cause, like, I'm sure I will need those exploding barrels for something. All two of them. But I'm not entirely sure for what. So we'll just get those down right now, right? What else? I mean, it feels like this might be a fight area. I mean, I can see Fruity saying something like that. Hi, Nem. Welcome in, friend. How are you doing? Alright. Oh. I forget that I can crouch and disarm things at the same time? It's fine. Look at all the scrap we got! Okay. Oh. That scared me. Rubik, can you not? Hey, buddy, can you not? Hey, friend, listen, I was gonna say, this definitely felt like a bad area, and this kind of proves it. Oh shit. I'm gonna need you to not wiggle so much. Ah! Get up there, get up there, get up there, get up there, get up there. What are you doing? Sebastian! You absolute goober. Is it... Hold on, it's fine. It's fine! No. Stop! Oh my god. It's R. It's R to change, isn't it? Yeah. Control to make. Okay, well, we just kind of got one shot with this bad boy. Take him out, take him out, take him out. Why isn't it exploding? Why isn't it exploding? Did it change it back? Are you shitting me? Ah! I hate this so much. Fuck. I don't understand why he does that, but he does. This is... okay, that's fine. Oh, goodness! Oh, goodness! Reload. Why are you not setting it off? Why are you so bad at aiming? Buff! They don't care about the limbo contest. They're not here for that. At all. Okay. If they could all come in here, that would be cool. I would appreciate it if they came to me, you know? Consider, buds. I'm already out of... This is so dumb. Please. No! No! That's not what I wanted to do! I didn't want to do that! Fucking hell! Ugh. It's fine. It's all fine. We can do a hydrate. Thank you, Nem. I have to wash Big Juice, and I just didn't want to do any dishes yesterday or today, so it's cups for me. I hope you couldn't hear that gulp. Oh my god, that was so loud. Thank you for the hydrate, though. Reminder, it's encouraged that y'all hydrate as well, please. Okay, let's just go ahead and... Right, I don't have the kind that I want just yet. I don't have enough scrap to make the kind that I want just yet. But we're gonna do this better this time because we know that they will try to climb up this way. If I have my big ol' explosion, my big exploding bolts, it's almost worth resetting so that I can get that scrap. Fuck. We can get the big ol' explosion bolts, maybe take out a couple of them to start with, and then not have to do nearly as much for the rest. Yeah, I know what shock bolts are. I have picked these up already. Right? It's fine. I don't want to get the other ones, though. They're so bad. I am in pain. Look at me. It's just that easy. I think I can get this one. But I kind of like having this available. It's fine. Okay, I still need more scrap, though. Great. We've done it. That is only enough for one. Maybe I don't need... contemplating, thinking, planning, plotting. I guess I do have the grenades as well, though. So that's fine. And that's on 4, right? Yeah. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, I understand. I'm being spotted. He sees me. I would be surprised if he didn't, honestly. I am standing right there, right in front of him. That's an invisible man. No, it's not. Never mind. Yikes! Get out of there, Sebastian. This is a bit of a problem. Yikes! Okay. This is fine. We do like it when they turn into meatballs. That's a very good thing when that happens. Get up there, get up there, get up there. Sebastian, please. Pull that. I told you to jump! You absolute goober! Ah! Please don't! Okay, look, listen, get up, get up, get up! Alright, come on. Where is... That's some pickle juice. Gotta love the pickle juice. Is that all of them? That's all of them. We've done it. Okay, cool. And we still have a lot of everything, more or less. Okay. I was gonna say, like, the animations in this are... Some of them are a little goofy, but, like, I really like how a lot of the enemies, like, respond to being hit. I don't know. We've played enough games recently, like, over the last couple of months, where the feedback from enemies once they've been hit has not been as satisfying, but the way that these guys respond to just like everything from being like exploded to shot to just even being shoved is real nice. As I vaguely remember from my response the other day when I think one of them blew up or I like exploded their head or something. I just got really excited about it. It was just very exciting. Alright, let's get more of those. I think that's everything that's here for right now. What do you have? Health! Oh my god, give. We're just gonna go ahead and use that, like, right now. I can't hold many of those. What about vampire? Yeah, no. Vampire, for, in its defense, there were a couple of the enemies that did, like, respond okay. Like, it gave you the feedback that you were hitting them. Some of the enemies had so much health all of the time that even if you were doing, like, your super powerful moves, it wasn't really doing anything. Like, even with, like, their like, weird, whatever that system is, that flowchart nonsense of, this is weak to this, but this is strong against this. Yeah, a lot of them just ignored me completely and punched me. Because my animations took so much longer than theirs did. And they could just eternally interrupt my actions. InSound Mind did a piss poor job of letting me know that whatever action I was doing was indeed hurting creatures. The, like, shadow monsters, not too bad, but bosses... Excuse? What the fuck? No.
Shit, I'd better run.
No! Why are you stopping? Why are you so slow? Is there anything coming after me? I want the bullets that are back there. I can hear her. Oh, I saw her! Sorry, I'm just gonna scream into your ear. What the fuck? Get in there, Sebastian! Please, my guy, please.
What is it with you?
Stop! Don't take control of my fucking camera! Ah! We know this one. She's gonna attack the bars, isn't she? Oh, I don't like her! Oh, I don't like her! Bad lady. Very bad lady. Not just hand lady. Fuck! Okay. I'm gonna get stabbed!
Damn it. That was close.
New weapon! Nope, not a new weapon, just shells. Okay, this is fine. Just a normal hands lady. Only mildly. I have to keep an eye on my stamina. Fuck! Get away from me! Oh! I know that Ruvik is the big bad, He bipped, yeah. He went boop. I assumed he was a hallucination and that I could just walk on through him. And he said, nope. You no longer have a neck. And it's like, sir, consider. Please let me have neck. No. Please. He's still coming at us. What am I supposed to do here? I don't think I'll ever have enough flies. Ever. We just fell through the world. This is fine. It's okay, Sebastian. Get on up, buddy. You got this. Holy shit. But yeah, Ruvik, not nearly as horrifying as Hans Lady was. Excuse me, that was a good reveal on her. I liked that. Oh my god, hiccups. I got spooked. Yeah, it's just a bad situation. Wowee.
Seems someone wants me hospitalized.
I mean, can you blame them? He's watching. We can't leave. Ruvik is 100% terrifying and a member of the patriarchy. Okay. Fair points. And not incorrect. However, Hands Lady. Hands Lady was moving around everywhere, which is super spooky. The bad news is that I've been reassigned to a new partner. Good news is that Myra said yes. But even the bad news isn't so bad. Joseph is a great detective, and we're a good team. Crimson City needs more men like him on the force, and it's an honor to be working with him. Sometimes it feels like bailing out a boat with a giant hole in the bottom. For every crime we solve, it seems that 10 others are committed. KCD is a thin blue line. Barf. Not the evolved form of a roof lady. We don't like roof lady here.
Necessary for me, my ass.
Sebastian, please. I need you to not with the one-liners, alright, buddy? Listen. Sebastian is gross.
It's been a while since your last visit.
Well, I mean, I guess it has, but it's fine. Right, Sebastian? Ew. Buddy. I was saving up for something and I don't remember exactly which one? Was it a pistol thing? Was it... Might have been... Oh, but I have this now! Accuracy. No? Critical! It was critical. Haven't seen any steel pipes just yet, but we did get an axe that was pretty dope. I really liked the critical on the handgun. Ooh, but a critical on shotgun would be dope too. Let's get... Shit, I can't do both. Let's get critical for the handgun to start with. This would be great, but we're gonna do fire rate for the shotgun first. I should increase how much ammo I can carry for both of these, honestly. So that's 4,500. And 9,000? Oh. So I need about 6,000 before I can get the 3 that I want. Right? You have pockets, my dude. Come on. Look, you got pockets in your vest, you got pockets in your dress shirt, you got pockets in your pants. Also, you've got this fucking holster everywhere. This extremely extravagant holster. Come on. Gives you a knife you can pull out when enemies aren't looking. Definitely not supposed to have it. And the enemies are all narcs and would tell on us. But honestly, maybe that's for the best. We seem like I mean, look, it's gonna sound oxymoronic, but I'm gonna say it anyway. We seem like a really shitty cop. But like, more shitty than normal. Wait, I'm sorry. There's 3 levels of keys. And 2 walls of keys. I see. I understand. Can I revisit levels? Probably not, right? Yeah, Sebastian sucks. He says that he wanted to be more than just a beat cop, and by that he means he wants to be a cop that beats. Investigation stalls in serial killer case. So he became a detective. He's only detective in name, though. He's still a cop, through and through. And we hate him for that. He's gonna be... I don't think he has kids. I don't know if he has kids or not, but he's definitely gonna be, like, bad dad. Not Jack Slade. Oh no. Sebastian, please, don't be this insufferable. That's an enemy over there. Also, hello? Can I see you? Oh, there's a person over there. Persons? There's definitely someone at the end of this hall, though. Please cover your mouth. I can't get down there, can I? Hey, do you wanna... Do you wanna take your lantern out, bud? It's very dark in here, okay? No. Oh, he's seen me. Fuck. This sucks. I hate this. Fuck! I hate these enemies. Holy shit, and I thought I heard a door open? Hello? Like, again, there's like... I know they want me to, like, focus on on the environment. Also, let me tell you how much I hate having the, I like the fact that I can see if an enemy has spotted me with that little, like, eye or whatever, but it needs to be higher up on the screen because it's not quite center of the screen, obviously. That's where my my, like, sights are. But, like, I keep focusing on the eyeball as opposed to the sights, which then fucks up my aim because I'm aiming with the wrong thing. And that's a me issue, really. But also, it's so close to where everything is. And I hate it. Hey, look! Pickle juice. In the toilet. It really could. They could just downsize the icon. Honestly, either slap it in the middle of the screen,
Looks like I have
where
to
my
get
aim
down.
is, or put it further up at the top of the screen, because it's like a third of the way down the screen, and I don't like it. I don't mind it as a mechanic. I mind the placement, though. And yeah, there's not always, like, environment stuff that I can rely on to find stuff. Hi, Bono! So not a huge fan of those. Hey, can you break the proper side? How's it going, friend? Right? Well, like, once you hit them, they, like, stagger. That scared the shit out of me. That rat with the statue? I had no idea what I was looking at for a second. Alright. Yeah, I just feel like they could have done that a little differently. Hey, thank you, Rat Buddy. Now I can get more fun stuff back at the other hospital. The better hospital. Get through the fucking door, Sebastian. No, no. He moved. I don't know where he is anymore. I'm sorry, your legs are stiff. Okay. This is fine. It's not fine. I hate these guys. I hate them so much. Can I break you? That's... You've gone the wrong way. Wait, why'd you kick it? Okay, this is fine. It's fine. We're not worried. Oh, boy. No stomps, only football kicks. Okay. It's dark, and I don't know what the button for... I don't know if I have a dedicated button for my lantern. I thought it was C, which is the same button that I use to light matches, but I can't see half the time, and that kind of sucks. But he's like turned the lantern on his own before. I don't know. I don't know. Please. Please. My dude, I hate them. They've eaten up all of my ammo. It's like, I would also just, like, run past them, but I feel like having multiple invisible men It's cute. It's cute. Thank you, Travis. When they were giving me the tutorial for how to use the lantern, it like popped up and then left so quickly because I think it was telling me about something else at the same time. Oh my god, this helps so much. Pickle juice! And shotgun shells! Also, we're getting close to having enough to do, like, the level ups that I want to do. I said it was about 6,000, right? Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Okay. And I don't have any health item. I do have a health item. I just picked it up. Okay. I should have waited until we healed up a little bit. Shit. Okay, that's fine. I know we talked about this. We've talked about it a bit before. About the whole not having enough ammo kind of thing. I don't necessarily mind it as a mechanic if I know that, like, if I go into it knowing that that's what or what's being expected of me from a game.
Out of ammo?
Shit. Please. But also, it's a little better now that I have, like, other means of fighting aside from just my pistol, right? Look, if I can just fight these guys in water all of the time, that would be great. Hello? But yeah, if I know that I'm going into a game that's gonna have, like, sparse ammo, cool, whatever, I can work with that. I don't hate it as a mechanic. What I do hate is me being given enemies that are extremely tough, and like to eat up all of my ammo, and also not having enough ammo, or even having, like, a melee attack that's, like, worth anything. If you're gonna at least give me that, right? Oops.
And that's a raw fact.
True, though. Like, there has to be a balance somewhere, and this is not it. Hi, Ruvik, I see you. I was gonna try and shoot you, but I decided not to. But yeah, there's gotta be a balance. Like, even if you're gonna make it difficult, like, I still need something. And I like the fact that I can, like, use environmental, like, the traps that are already set up in the environment as a means of, like, taking out enemies and stuff. Clearly there have not been that many here. They have given me a little bit more ammo than previously, which is fine. Rubik, like the cube. That's why you can't touch him. Oh, you're gonna blooper team me, aren't you? I see. Kid, when we said get a hobby, is this Leslie? Wait, can I go into each one of these? Or are they all the same? That's old man. That's an old man. Ooh, I can open up all the doors immediately. That's a dead man. We all thought his name was Rubik, but it isn't, or Ruvik, but in fact, it is Rubik. Like the cube. Hello, child. You're not a child. Oh, that's the wrong key. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it was for the dead man or the mortician. Probably the mortician. Jesus fucking Christ. Hold on a second. I am going to be eat your ass, Devo. Please. I know you like the box. Not for you. Oh my god, that was terrifying. I bought a bike a few months back, right? Cool, fantastic. I still haven't had a chance to like get rid of the box because it's very large. And I haven't broken it down because I don't want to. And no matter where I put it, both Devo and Farley like to try and jump on top of it. Actually, I think we're gonna take a short break because I have to pee now. But they like to try and jump on top of it, but like the top is not open because the flap can shut, but it's not stable in the slightest, and so they'll jump on it and make it fall, and it's terrifying because it's just a loud thump. It is pee time. Hey, computer, would you like to give me my mouse back? You would not. Great. I love that for me. Hold on a second. There we go. This is how we'll do it. Yeah. So it's pee time. We'll be right back. Put the flaps down and put a blanket over the top. So they fall into cat jail. No, but see, then the cats will freak out. Specifically, I'm thinking of Devo. Devo in particular. Devo will fall in and start panicking and screaming, and then I will have to come and rescue him, and that's a whole lot of extra work that I also don't want to do. No, it's pee time. I'll be right back in just a couple of minutes. Do a quick stretch if you haven't. Get some water. Do some stuff. Not the sounds of the outdoors. Not the... I'll put a little bit of dirt in it so it smells like the outside too. You're mean. Yeah, be right back. Okay, I'm back. We good. Also checked on Devo to make sure that he was fine. He's a little rattled, but you know, it's fine. I probably should have poured myself some more water before I sat down. And said I was ready, but you know, it's fine. Bro, you're not even laying in the blanket anymore. Oh, I'm sorry. Were your little footsies in there? Okay, there you go. My god. This cat. These cats, all of my animals are a bunch of goobers. And I love them so much, but also, why are they so damned weird? Okay. Well, I have peed. I've got water. I'm fucking ready. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Let's do this. Okay. What are we looking at? There are spikes everywhere. So I bet if I fuck this up, I'm gonna get spiked. And what, we've got 2 different kinds of flowers, a sunflower, and whatever this one is. I don't think I have the information I need for this puzzle just yet. Can I leave? Can I not leave? Can you not? Game's there, right? I'm looking at the game screen. TK, please. Please. Look, I've been known to do that before. And I was like, but I'm looking at it right here. Hi, TK. How's it going? You can see it. Okay, so is the answer the sunflower because it's here? I'm gonna assume yes. Something tells me you could see it before. I stabbed the man. Man has been stabbed. Man do be bleeding everywhere? It happens. How's it going, TK? How you doing? How goes? Shishkadood. I love me some shishkadoods. Okay, what is this one? We've got... We've got 3 gears and 4 gears. It's gonna be 3. There it is, right there. But also, what is this? Underground facility note! He lies! And to his own son, his own flesh and blood. It's outrageous. Gone to a better place, that hypocrite. That sanctimonious fool. That's such a good word. Sanctimonious. Sorry. I know the truth. I know him better than he knows himself. He's trying to punish me again. He always resented our closeness. Thinks he can use it against me. Does he take me for a fool? Laura is not dead. Ooh, cheesy hash brown and beefs. That sounds delicious. Well, I hope things continue in an upward direction for ya. But welcome in, friend. It's always nice to see you. Can I break these? What is that? What can I pick up? What is it? Goop! We got some goop! Alright. Said it was 3, right? These aren't particularly difficult puzzles. That's fair. It's, I know that I tend to feel particularly yucky, during this time of year. Mostly, like, because of winter. I don't know if it's a situational thing for you or not. But, whatever it is, you got this. You're gonna get through it. You're gonna kick its ass. Is that a sandwich? That's an ashtray. And yeah, we're just happy to have you here.
Assimilation
Blood
of subject's
puzzles equals
consciousness.
bluzzles.
Initial symptoms: sharp pain and brainstem at
That
centered
looks
on
very
insertion
quiet.
point, followed by gradual onset of hemorrhaging as capillaries dilate. Over time, degradation of the ego generates strong suicidal tendencies. They lose who they are and become clay, completely reshapeable in my image. But not me. Something keeps me from staying completely within.
Is this Rufik speaking? But yeah, no, the cold just makes everything so much more difficult to deal with. I mean, I got the typical suggestions, which I don't know if you're looking for or not. But try and bundle up, get comfy, get cozy. Remember to do nice things for yourself, even if they're little. And, you got this. I didn't look. Okay, so we've got... I can't remember the names of any of these. It's a neuron, isn't it? I mean, that's a brain cell. That one's got, like, a little tendril on it. It's the tendril one. I thought that said brain devil for a second. It's fine. It's brain device. Alright, we want the one with the little tendril. The brain cell. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, let's go. What have we done? Have we opened the door? The blood door. With the bluzzle. Do I have to, like, go touch it? That's a lot of jam that you just wasted. My god, these people don't give a shit about jam. Terrible. Give me that pickle juice. That's a lot of pickle juice. I would love to be able to revisit the hospital. It's our buddy! Hi, friends.
Joseph.
Joseph's taking a bath right now. It's fine. See the amount of blood that was coming out of Bert's head whenever he changed his bandages. I mean, pretty much. Wasn't good. You're just gonna dump him out of there? Idiot. I think jam just grows on trees.
Thank God you're
They're
okay.
monsters, honestly.
I don't know what I am, but it's definitely not okay.
Partner is so dramatic.
Brought me here.
I've brought you nowhere. Also, why were you just hanging out on like a weird meat sack?
Jesus, what happened? My head feels like. Do you
Like,
hear that?
like somebody put a bunch of pickle juice in your brain? Yeah, it'll pass, man. You'll get used to it.
Yeah,
Was that supposed to be like a placenta? Sorry. What the fuck? In the cutscene, it definitely looked like it had like a cord. Also, healing partners? Excuse me?
I've still got a little fight left in me.
Meat pillow. Are you good? Are you gonna fight with me now? Joseph is my buddy. Buddy. Reminds me of the Bloodborne sacks. Yeah! The little hats. Goopy brains. We love them. Alright, you good, bud? Or are you just gonna keep coughing over there? Come on.
Let's get out of here fast.
Joseph! Psst, 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 psst. Come here, Joseph! Psst, 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 psst. Joseph! Psst, 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 psst. Good boy! know that they can be alerted to excessive noise, but also listen. Also listen. I just want to get places fast. I just want to find... I just want to get back into the hospital real quick so I can, like, upgrade some stuff, because I got me a lot of pickle juice. And that's extremely exciting for me. There's gonna be a body in one of these. Shotgun shells. One of these is definitely going to contain a jump scare. But all the others are going to contain a lot of really good goop. And I'm here for that. I do want to get enough goop. See? Body. You can't get me, game. I mean, you can. You have. Just not like this. These are not the scares you think they are. I want to get enough goop so we can level up our health again. I would like to be able to take more hits. Especially since we're not finding a ton of healing items around. Like, we haven't... we haven't found none. We have found a few here and there, right? Oh, don't see me. But... yeah, and see, and that's the whole thing. I would like to have something, at least, so that I can be fine with not being at full health, you know? No, no, nope, 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 you don't see me. I am not here. You don't see me. Turn around, ma'am, so I can stab you in the back. You're gonna see me and it's gonna suck. It's gonna fucking suck. Fucking hell! Joseph, come here. Joseph, come here. You can waste your bullets. That's fine. Joseph, you are on fire! I appreciate that these harpoons can hit multiple targets if you do it right. Get him, Joseph! Get him, buddy! So yeah, I think, like... I think we should definitely invest in more health. I don't necessarily think that better healing items is a bad option either. Just given how few items we are getting. But, definitely, like, just higher health capacity as a whole would be better. Ammo capacity, probably something worth investing in, but not necessarily being able to hold more health. Maybe one more health item. Please. Get him. Joseph, get him. He's right there. Get him, Joseph. Get him. Joseph. Joseph. Thank you. Holy shit. I like it when the brains go squish. It's all fine. It's all fine. Give me that harpoon. You're fine. I don't need to heal you. Also, can I just, like, heal you? I don't have any healing items, right? Oh, so I can just I can just give you a pep talk. What are you oh-knowing at, Fruity? It's fine. There's nothing scary going on here. No need to be concerned. It's just nice when the brains go squish, alright? Is that a problem? Hold on. I'm realizing I haven't, like, reloaded any of my garbage in a minute. Thank you. I gotta remember to go in and get rid of the context behind
This looks
that.
pretty sophisticated. Why would they put a
Ouch.
bomb like this?
Do you think we can get past
Also,
it?
oof.
Stand back. Let me see if I can disarm it.
I can edit it for you if you want. Capitalized squish. Understood. Wow. Joseph is a badass. Understood. Wait, is there anything over here that I can collect? No. I would like to go back to the hospital. Like, the cool hospital where they shove pickle juice into my brain. So I can shove pickle juice into my brain. I got a lot of pickle juice in my pocket.
What is it with this sound?
Got those pocket pickles.
I thought it was something electronic.
Oh, Joseph, your head! Joseph, you got a case of the lumps! Am I gonna have to kill you? Right as we're asking him to beat the game for us. Oh, Joseph's fine. You got a little, you got red on you. You okay, bud?
Joseph, after Connolly, I thought...
I don't know what came over me.
It was the lumps.
I haven't been feeling well, but
It's just the lumps. We all got them. We all got the lumps.
Look, let's just get out of here. There's something wrong with this place.
I mean, no shit, Sebastian. Joseph is fine. Good, buddy.
I'm fine. No need to worry.
See? He says he's fine. I trust Joseph, not Sebastian. I don't trust Sebastian. Let's go. He's just a little nauseous, and it's fine. Just a little queasy. Not even fully nauseated yet. His tum-tum's just a little upset. Maybe he missed out on his daily dose of olive oil. I realize nobody probably understands what either of us are saying. And that's fine. It's fine and normal. Oh my god. Okay, I hear the music that tells me the hospital is here.
We need to move.
No, we need to wait. Actually, I gotta go put some pickle brine in my brain. Hang on a minute, buddy. Yeah, dog food didn't sit right with him. He's real sad now.
Feeling better now?
Nah, marshmallow was great. Broccoli, not so much. Broccoli just made us a little sad, a little bored. Dog food, cripplingly depressed. What's this one? I'm just gonna open these up at random at this point. Gave me pickle juice! 5,000 pickle juice. We're pickle rich. Sorry, I gotta take that back. That's too close to Pickle Rick and I hate it. We are very wealthy when it comes to pickle juice. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. It was a mistake. Alright, let's get this pickle juice in our brain. What did we want? We wanted life gauge is 5,000. I think I can afford that. I'm going to do... Fuck, what did I want? We wanted damage for the shotgun. We wanted the critical first, right? We also wanted... Fuck, I have forgotten everything that I wanted. These. I wanted these, right? Yeah, because it was 4,500. And I think that's all I had planned for the time being. So we're gonna do that. Because we're finding enough that, like... Yeah. I think syringe healing is what we were talking about post initial plan. Recovery would be good, but also life gauge. I think they're both 5,000, right? Let's get the health first. And then syringe recovery will be second. I mean, it sucks that these have only been at 10-point intervals. We'll get 20 for the last one. But 5,000's not that hard, and we're only 1,300 away from that. We can easily get that amount of juice. That also puts us back at full health right now, which is great. Let's go ahead and save. Yeah, full heals you when you increase, or when you level up your health gauge, which is very nice. And we greatly appreciate that. But yeah, I think we won't deal with syringe capacity because we're never at full health anyway, and I usually use those when we first get them, right? I don't know that capacity upgrades will fill our gun. Real talk? Not entirely sure, because I did increase the ammo capacity for the gun, or for the... That's ammo capacity. Shit, hold on. Braining. There's too much pickle juice in my brain for me to understand what I'm saying for a second. It's fine. Okay. Let's go, Joseph. Yeah, clip size. Yeah, nope, that's where I was trying to get. My brain wasn't fully working there, though. I had both equated as the exact same thing for some reason in my head, even though I recognized that they were not the same thing.
It's another trap. Look.
We all got a bit of a pickle brain, it's okay. It's me first thing in the morning. We have wasted so much time with this poor lady in the piss bath. Bye, Joseph! That's a piss bath.
Joseph, are you all right?
Joseph's fine.
I'm fine. I think you'd better get down here.
I'm coming.
Hold on, I'm coming.
Hold on. Do I have any grenades? Don't. That is
Shit, let's hurry it up.
extremely unfortunate. However, I do have a couple of those. So that's kind of nice. Oh, fuck. I missed. Oh my god!
Come on.
Can I pick those up? I can! Oh, that's very nice. There we go. We'll just juice a couple of boys.
How many of these things are there?
This is fine. Not her pickling. Sorry, I just saw that. Ow! I was doing so well. Ma'am, you don't have half a head. Fuck. I know there was a dodge button, and I don't remember what it was. This is fine. They're trying to push me! Stop! Joseph's gotcha. Give me the juice! Give me the juice! Juice, 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 juice. Juice, 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 juice. Juice, 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 juice.
Watch out! They've got dynamite!
Good big sweet juice. My juice song? Oh, she's gonna fucking die.
Fuck!
Right? Who gave the zombie dynamite? Who thought that this would be a good idea? Oh my goodness. They've given me a lot of ammo here.
Sebastian, they're above us!
I'm sure it's fine. They're shooting! That seems dubious. That is dynamite behind me! That is extremely rude, and I hate them for that. That's dynamite. I'm trying to run! Sebastian does not want to move his ass. Okay, well, we were doing alright, and then we weren't. Right? Yeah, dynamite fucks you up. Now we know.
Sebastian, they're above
There was a death. Deaths in this are fucking brutal. I do kind of love them. But, only every once in a while.
They're shooting.
Oh, nice, okay. It kind of picked me up from where I left off. That's nice. Good, there was a checkpoint there. I love that for me. We love crash test dummies here. Nope, we're gonna move away from that. What's over here? Joseph, get him! Get him, Joseph, get him! I don't know where that is, and I'm scared. I don't know where that is, and I'm scared. I still don't know where that was. See, I'm barely paying attention to Pickle Lady over here. A little busy. Blow yourself up. Blow yourself up. Fuck. That sounded like he exploded. I love that for me.
They've got dynamite.
Why? Why? Why do they still have dynamite? Joseph! 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 Joseph, I'm tired. Joseph, I am sleepy, and there are too many goobers around here. Do you think you can, like, take them out for me? That's a lot of goop. Joseph. Remember that time you tried to choke me out and I didn't even ask for it? You gotta kill these guys for me now, because that was a bad move on your part, and I didn't like it. This is how you have to repay me, okay?
More of them on the move.
Okay, good. I'm glad we
Don't
can
be a
agree
hero,
on that.
back off.
I was in the middle of throwing a fuck. Oh, get out of here! Men with masks? Bad. Bad. We don't like the masked people. I'm dead. Okay, now we know. If they have masks, they're bad. So that's a thing. Just, can I heal you? Good. Very much the strangers.
Sebastian, they're above us.
It's extremely rude that they get to interrupt everything. Stop! I don't want to look! I don't want to look!
Find cover. They're shooting.
I am in cover. Am I gonna get all that pickle juice again? It's not. No. Juggalos have face paint, not masks. Also, the new Strangers movie that came out a couple years ago. I think it came out a couple years ago at this point. Very bad. Would not recommend.
Watch out. They've got dynamite.
Like, not even as a it's so bad it's good kind of situation. It was just bad. Which I don't think shocks anyone. I can't say... He just blew himself up. I can't say any of us were surprised.
Is that it?
But it was
I think
bad.
there's still something nearby.
Of course, there's something still nearby. Well, give me just a second. Look at all that pickle juice. I appreciated the first one. Just cause, like, I think at that point there weren't a ton of home invasion. Like, in recent years when it came out, there weren't a ton of home invasion horror that, like, was good. I can understand it being, like, super quiet, because it was. Just a lot of, like, aggressive whispering. Oh, that was just Joseph. I appreciated it, though, because they weren't necessarily trying to be like, the killers are doing this for revenge. It's just like, no, just senseless violence happens sometimes, and I kind of dug that. Just as like a way to like shake things up compared to like all these like slasher movies that like were trying to give killers all these like ridiculous motives. Can we not backhand me, sir? Hey, I am stuck in a corner. I am also just exhausted and hurt. I hurt. Let's do a quick ol' heal here. Now is not the time to stop in the middle of the arena. You can still wander. Holy shit, Sebastian. Yeah. Oh, so your mask acts as terrible armor. I see. I understand. Great. I'm gonna have to do R. What's this? Give me this. Set him on fire. Set him on fire. Sometimes you just gotta set a man on fire. And it's fine. And we understand this. Hey Joseph, you doing good down here? Good job, bud. I'm proud of you. Can they stop? This is far too many. Okay, why hasn't that exploded yet? Why has that not exploded yet? Holy shit. Don't do it. Holy butts.
That was close.
Here, do you want me to heal you up? Here you go, bud. Can she wait? Actually, can she wait? I mean, it's been at that level for a while, you know. No, it's fine. Let's do it.
I can't get the thing open.
Okay, we'll
I
move.
think there's another control panel around here. We're running out of time.
No, I think we're fine.
Where do these cables go?
Let me look, game.
I'll go. Tell me what to do.
Game, I would love to go do the thing. Oh shit, I am actually on a timer. Fuck that. This? Not this. There's a pickle meter now, it's true. Gotta know how pickled her friend is. That's not where I want to go. No, don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't you fucking do it.
I think there's another control panel around here.
It's fine. Some of those sticks of dynamite go for a very long time.
Right?
Yes.
A top one and a bottom.
Set the upper dial to 22 and the lower dial to 5.
Where did you get these numbers from, Joseph? No more piss pickles!
Are you alright?
Oh, that seems bad. Well, it was nice knowing them.
Joseph, Kidman.
Alright, can we take a moment and breathe? We do. Not a Minecraft hole. They found the void. I was gonna say there probably is lava down there, isn't there? Can I? Here. Break that. Kick that open. Break that! Beautiful. Sometimes you gotta tempt fate. Consider. I'm glad I came back. Look at all this garbage! You love to see it. There's nothing in this one. Tragic. Nothing in this one either! These ones are bad cells. It's fine. We got some stuff. That's pretty alright. There's pickle juice here. Oh, we gonna break some chains. Let's fucking go. Alright. Well.
Hang on, I'm coming.
I'm not though. We're not going down there just yet, bud. I need you to know that we're not going down the hole yet. I still have another. Dude, I'm gonna hold off on using that for just the moment. I know that like I know we traditionally use the healing items immediately upon retrieval, right? But we're at half health. This is better than normal. I think we're gonna wait a second so we can take another quick look around. I want to pick some stuff up. We got another key for all those very good gift boxes containers at the hospital. Not gift boxes. Can I open you? No, you are actually locked. Okay. That's fine. We got a loot crate. It's gonna be great. We're gonna unlock it when we get back to the hospital. Get all sorts of cool nonsense. The button said examine, not hop down, Sebastian. I would like to point out that it said examine, as in to look, and not necessarily to throw ourselves into the hole. Also, that bone? That's a big bone. What does that belong to? I am concerned. So what time is it? I realize I just, like, haven't been paying attention at all. 8 o'clock. We got an hour. Wow, man, you took that shot. Great. Right? No, for real. Look with your eyes, not you're falling through the bad area. Consider. Give me those bullets. Thank you. I miss Joseph. You're not Joseph. It really lit, and it just, it's so satisfying too. Those criticals.
Joseph!
Excuse me, what? Sneeze. Sorry. It was a double sneeze. Ugh. Okay, we're good. Oh, my head.
You there?
Give me that and give me that. Look at all this fucking juice we got. This game heard that I like big juice. And it was like, look, I got you covered. Have all of the big juice. Thank you, game. I appreciate it. We have enough for better healing, which is extremely exciting. I'm sure Joseph is fine. More juice. Give me the juice. Juice, 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 juice. Give me the juice. Cue Lizzo's juice. On down. Are you hiding anything back here that I can steal?
Hang on.
Was that a car? Oh. Oh, you're okay. Nope, you're still down. I wanted to burn you? I tried to burn you and instead I hit you? Can you just maybe, like, lay down real fast so I can burn you? You are a goopy boy. Fuck. Shit. Piss. He has curb stomped me. Holy fuck, my guy. I tried to set him on fire. And instead I decided to do a punch. Because that's what you do sometimes. Is a punch. As opposed to committing arson on a potentially alive person. Was robbed, it's true. Look. Just do it like this. See? Not even an issue now. And stay down.
Sebastian!
Hi, that's me. Yes, I am Sebastian. Oh my god. Aim is another thing that we should definitely be focusing on, because seriously, the fact that, like, even though I am pointing at them, I can still wiggle my stupid fucking gun away. And by me, I mean him. The fact that Sebastian, I did it again.
Are you guys alright? We're alright.
Is
Just a
garbage.
few bumps. We're fine.
I'm sorry, if I am aiming properly, he should also be aiming properly. Just saying. Come here. Let me heal you. Stop walking away. I'm healing you. Joseph, we don't want the lumps to come back. Okay? Look. I'm trying to help you. Is it... Nope. Okay. It's fine. What are we doing? That's...
If you hadn't come along.
You'd be a pickle. What are you doing?
It looks like the door's locked from the other side.
Sebastian, maybe we can lift this enough for Kidman to go under and open it from the other side.
We're counting on you.
All right.
Why is Joseph so much quieter than Sebastian is? Also, do I get two buddies now? Also, girl, I can see your bra through your shirt, and I hate this. I hate the fact that the game decided that that's important enough to render for us. I understand that your shirt was wet. You were just
Let's
in
get going.
a piss-pickling bath, but it's not necessary.
We should go.
Like, at all! Look at this! Oh my goodness. Alright.
I'm glad you're both alright.
It's odd, though. Why would they catch you instead of just killing you?
Maybe
'Cause
you
I'm-
didn't see me as a threat.
Oh, we're talking about her. Okay, I see. I understand. It's gonna be the lump to— oh! Oh no! It's Ham's lady! Right? Damn, girl, you live like this? Hello?
Another one of those doors.
Yeah. They're our friends, Sebastian. Don't worry about it, my dude. We're 100% a bad dad, aren't we? Detective Sebastian Castellanos. That's how I'm gonna say it, and if I am wrong, I am sorry. And Detective Myra Hansen joyfully request the pleasure of your company at their wedding celebration. They really put detective before their names. Barf! Not a cop wedding. Joyfully request the pleasure of your company at their wedding celebration. Saturday the 17th of September 2005. 12:30, the Veranda Hotel, Crimson City. Reception to follow. Ew. Ew. I had to DJ a cop wedding once and I hated it. I hated every second of it.
Sebastian,
It was bad.
have you forgotten something?
Is this my wife? Hear me out. Is the nurse here my wife? Is this Myra? Just 4 hours if I shot the sheriff. I fucking wish. No, it was just gross. And a lot of, like, I mean, no one is shocked, but just, like, a lot of toxic masculinity. And there were definitely some ill-advised, gross, sexist jokes. Lots of boomer humor from the groom himself. And I was just like, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't like this. They were country cops too, so just a lot of, like, Americana country. It just wasn't good. Would not recommend. Don't do cop weddings, y'all. Alright, let's get some pickle juice in our brains. Probably. There was probably some Cotton Eye Joe. Alright, we wanted to do some syringe recovery. It's not a ton. That's actually some garbage recovery there. Only 6 points? I mean, I guess her life gauge is only at 120. That's bad, though. Fuck it, we're doing sprint time. I need better sprint. Okay. This playlist locked it down. It was bad. It was a bad time. Can I open this yet? I can! Okay, cool. Wouldn't let me the last couple of times that we've been through here. Wait. I did get another... I have 2. I am going to use one. I also need to save. Okay. This is fine. Accept. Hi, Allie! Hi! Are you home? Are you done working? If you're not, that's fine too. But it would be nice if you were. Hi, friend! How are you doing? How's it going? I have some bullets, yes, actually. Look, look, I got 9 bullets for my pistol? I don't really have any bullets here, but that's okay. I got three shells for my shotgun. We're and I've got a grenade. It's going great. Your meeting just ended. Oh, okay. Are you gonna go home soon? No. Does that mean soon? But yeah, I'm happy you're here. What's going on in here? What is happening? We got a whole dang 13 bullets. Nice! Good. Good. I can hear somebody. Somebody! I am being looked for, and I don't know by what. I kind of want to take this down, but I think I'm just going to leave the trap there for now. Sometimes you just gotta scream, sing some Smash Mouth. What is this? Yeah. Man! Got him. I wasn't entirely sure that he was close enough to that. So that makes me very happy. Hello? Okay, we gotta do this bad. Oh, I did it! I'm very pleased with myself. I hate those chests. I thought I had to open it up to like to the point that the bomb beeped. But I guess I only need to do it like genuinely only halfway, which is very nice. Pickle juice! Love to see it. Alright, back down. Great! We didn't blow ourselves up. We appreciate when we don't blow ourselves up. Alright, what do we got going on over here? Hello? I guess I gotta go figure out who is groaning and moaning at me. There's nothing in that box. Fine. I am a little concerned that it's gonna be one of those invisible men, right? Nope. Come on. Come here. Howdy, y'all. Let's go. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Come here. Come here. I did that too soon. You walked through it! God. It's fine. You got any juice? I don't have any juice. Salty. It's fine. I didn't really lose any bullets there. They gave back what I used. You want me to go over here? That's fine. I was gonna try and punch the mannequin anyway, so you know, game saved me a button press. Oh, you know what? We're hurting. Let's go ahead and shoot up just a little bit. Hello? Hello? Ma'am, I should have. That's my wife, right? I am on fire! I'm gonna die.
Fire seems to work.
They ran off with the... Where is it? There it is. My wife. It's 100% my wife. I've done something terrible to her. And this is her coming back for revenge. Are you shitting me? I'm going to use every single one of my goddamn bullets on this stupid bird. It's fine. We got another key. That's exciting. The evil within, the man who mistook his life for a bunch of hands and a receptionist. I mean, look, we all know a man. We all know a man like that. Tell me I am wrong. And it also tracks with the bad dad theory. Which, for clarification, does not necessarily mean that bad dad does not necessarily mean that the man in question is a father. It just means that they are a shitty man. Instead of, are you my mommy, it's, are you my wife? Look! I don't know how familiar with Silent Hill 2 you are, Travis. But that is essentially the premise. Less, are you my wife? And more, have you seen my wife? She died. And it's like, yo, bud, you good? I'm trying to make sure that there's like nothing else around here that I've missed. Again, we're not necessarily going for like a full... Excuse you? We're not going for 100% run here, or anything of the sort. Fuck off! Come here. Come on. Come on! It's worth it. It was worth it. Why are you rolling towards her, you goober? Sebastian. Sebastian! She's right behind me. This is an issue. I can't see what's happening. Oh, okay, so she's an insta-kill. She gets me and then I'm just dead. Understood. That seems a little bad and extremely cheap, but okay. Now we know. Yeah, I get it. You're gonna close that. That's fine. I am prepared. No, I'm supposed to set her on fire. Come on. Come on. Where is that other barrel? She's right behind me. Fucking hell. Come on. Come here. I needed that torch. There's one up here. There she is. Come on, ma'am. That should have got you! Oh, this is some trash. Please. I don't like the bodies in the corner because they are useless. Alright. Okay, yes. Can I skip this? I understand. I am trapped. Ooh, spooky scary. Nah, it's not what I wanted to do. Yeah? I've been enjoying it so far. I hate insta-kills. They're not a fan. Can't say I'm a fan. But that's okay. Alright, let's go. Oh, I did this too soon. It's like I see what they're trying to get me to do. We're just trying to burn the lady. She's got me. She got me. Oof. I liked it better when we had a partner. or when enemies didn't kill me instantly, regardless of how much health I had. It's fine. We'll get it. We got it. Stop. I understand. Things are bad. Let's go. What did we do to piss off the wife? We have done something to anger her so much. Hey, get fucked. Burn it. No. I mean, probably. I am imagine we're a giant piece of shit. I mean, we're a cop. But also, I don't deserve the insta-kill. Sebastian does. So if she could set her differences aside for a hot second, I would love that. Not the sloppy steaks of Revaldis. Okay, give me that. Is this where she's coming through? How many times must I burn a bitch? 'Cause I'll keep doing it. Don't think I won't. I'm on fire. I am on fire. I am stuck in the fire. Okay, so I need to get... Wait, what? Wait, what? I got stuck under there. There was nothing I could do. We're doing better, though. We're getting more hits, and I need to get in there and then just drop her. Can I do that? Do you think that that's a... Do you think that's, like, the end state? That's what I need to do, is get her in there and drop her into the fire. I imagine she gets out before it closes off, / she can teleport. We have seen her teleport. I think I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing here. We'll try and burn her up as much as possible. And then we will get her in there. In there. Where is she? Got her, got her, got her. Oh, good. Shit, that was scary. Where are you? You're coming through there. Okay, that's fine. Come on. Let's go. I am... Go under! Oh my god. Sebastian said, no, I will not do what you want me to. Where is she? Fuck! Why must we take 10 years to hit anything? I'm not the only... Like I said, the placement of the eye is, like, super weird. Okay, we're gonna pause for a hot second. Because I have to pee again, unfortunately. I have the bladder of an old woman. I'm gonna pee. We're gonna recollect, and we're gonna get this done. We're gonna get this done before the end of stream. We're gonna do it. It's gonna be fine. So yeah. BRB. I will see y'all in a moment. MP free. Recentered. Ready to do a fucking murder. Let's go. Shall we? Kill a bitch. Okay, let's do this. Our goals. I don't know. Do a murder. Again, I see what they're trying to do. At this point, it's just fighting mechanics. I need to not throw down, not throw down a match when she is coming out of a body, which seems counterintuitive. But we can work with that. Come on. Nope, that's where she's coming from. Are you going that way? Alright. Come on. I apparently set that body on fire. Oh, fuck! Where did you come from? Yum. Rude. Rude. I hate... Not that it distracted me this time. But actively looking at where the eyeball for being spotted sucks. Are you hidden rules that you have thus looked up? Or that you're picking up on? Okay, let's... Yeah, no, it's... She seems to want to take the shortest route to me, which makes sense. I get it. That is not where I wanted to aim that. No! 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 Oh my god. Again, I understand what they want me to do. I do get it. And I've gotten it since we got in here. Because of that comment he made earlier of, so fires it, huh? Like a big old macho man. Just getting it done. The insta-kill aspect of things, not great. I am gonna try, let's try this. I don't think this is going to change the outcome of her grabbing us. But for science, let's just do some quick science. Sebastian, I need you to kick that like not an idiot. Alright, listen. Yeah, she'll take the shortest route. When she vanishes, she will go to whichever body is closest to me. I don't think that counts. That does not count. That doesn't count. Come on. Come on. Okay. Do I just need to burn all of the bodies? No, Sebastian! fucking hell! Why is she so fast? Okay, where else can I go? She's gonna come around this corner, isn't she? She got caught on fire. Perfect. Did we do it? Holy shit! Perfect. Good. We did it. I think I needed to get rid of all the bodies. Wait, is she dead? Drop. $8,000 goop. 8,000 goop. I'm just gonna run around real fast. I want to see if the win condition really was just burning all of the bodies. It does appear that way. Oh, I wish I had known that sooner. It's fine. We did do it. We got it. Okay. It's fine. Moving bodies reduces her max health? Okay. I guess that makes sense. It's not enough to kill her. Okay, so we had just done enough damage that by the time we got rid of the last couple of bodies, it was enough. I see. Plus her falling into that pit. Cool. That was rough. I do wish that insta-kills weren't a thing. Oh, leave Leslie alone!
Subject's case history cites developmental delays. Indicates issues with communication, social cognition, repetitive behaviors. Signs of synesthesia reported. Genealogy suggests increased susceptibility to external stimuli. Pattern adaptiveness. Could you be what I've been searching for all these years? And under my own nose. Unbelievable.
Are you siblings?
There can be no mistake. This one is compatible.
Leave the boy alone. Oh, what is this? That's a giant brain.
What?
I am being perceived. It's just a barbed wire brain. It's fine. No, this is not nice. No, this is not nice. No, this is not nice. Is now really the time for Big Brian? Travis. Oh, Big Brian's eye fell off. Why didn't anyone tell me? I really gotta make Big Brian better. Fits the theme. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to remake Big Brian here because he's rough. It's a little rough right now for our boy. Our good boy. Good boy, Big Brian. Alright, let's go. Those are 100% placentas. They got them good umbilical cords attached to the back of their heads. Alright. Your hat making schemes are over. No, never! Oh, unplug! I have wasted all my bullets on this, haven't I? Where was the unplug option? I saw it! But I saw it! But I saw it! It might be... Yeah, possibly. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, it is. This is fucking wild. Don't bite me! I'm trying to reload! Okay. We have exploded things. Things have exploded. Chapter 5 clear! There we go. Accept. Get out of here. Next chapter. Oh, we're doing this again? I hate this. You gonna stab something into my brain? Are you giving me a lobotomy? Hey, let's not. Hey, let's not. I'm gonna look over here for a while. Can't get me. Oh boy.
Has something startled you?
Did they do something to my head?
Yes,
You don't look
absolutely.
well. You should take better care of yourself.
Man, what is this box? Church floor collapses, no injuries. Witness says miracle. Biggest church scandal to date. Floor of Cedar Hill Church collapses during renovations. Parishioner says it was a miracle. No one was injured. Oop, running and stuff. Well, let's go open up another box and hope that it is some good pickle juice. It's some good pickle juice. That's a goodly amount of pickle juice. We love us some pickle juice here. It is unfortunate that my health is as low as it is. It's also unfortunate that I used all my fucking pistol ammo in that last fight. I was doing so well, and at least keeping some of it on me. It's fine. What was our next? Could get more health. Or more stamina. Or more damage. Kind of like the idea of getting more damage. We're doing okay stock-wise. More matches would be nice. Agony bolts. Let's go for it. I don't think we really need much more of anything else because we haven't had to really like come across anything. Or like we haven't had a ton of damage would be good, but I do want to get that accuracy up as well for the pistol. Is that enough to also do fire rate? Damage. Alright. I'm happy with that. I should do more damage for the explosive bolts as well as the harpoon at some point. Because those are the two that I usually use with the Agony crossbow. I know we just saved, but I would like to save again. Let's go. Accept. And we've got like 13 minutes left. Oh, I can't access that. Hey. Man, how do I leave? Do I leave here? Do I live here now? I think I live here now. I'm pretty sure I live here now. Hey. Is there a mirror back here that I can use? Go ahead and pick that up. Go ahead and pick those up. Oh. Do that. I should use the health that we just got, but I'm not going to. We are going to wait. Oh, there was another thing for me to examine here. I see.
Photographs?
Is that the church?
A church.
Hmm? Everything in our dream is gonna be some sort of weird... not in our dream. That's where I was gonna end that statement. Everything that we're experiencing here is a dream. We're in some sort of coma. And or psychotic state, aren't we? And I'm gonna be very upset and very disappointed with that, aren't I? Perfect. Excuse you, wheelchair.
What was
Excuse
that
you,
sound?
wheelchair. Yeah, it's gonna be like a Jacob's Ladder kind of situation, but instead of exploring the horrors of war and how soldiers are left with post-traumatic stress disorder, it's gonna be, we were just a shitty cop, and everything bad that happened was our fault. And our wife probably died because of us. Yeah, your wife was dead the whole time! Ooh! That is my official prediction for the end of this game. I am excited to see if I'm right. I do really love Jacob's Ladder, honestly. Particularly as like an allegory of like revisiting all the shit that you've done. Hi. Is this Safe Head? Is this the man with a safe for a head? Safe man! Safe man! Safe man! Senior Safe Head! Hi, Leslie. Hey, baby, it's okay. I know it's bad. I know it's bad sometimes. That's okay.
Sebastian?
That's me.
Sebastian?
That's me.
Sebastian?
Yeah? You don't have any eyes, do you? Oh, you just don't have a face, okay! Man, I hate it when my face just turns into a mirror. Alright. I love Leslie and I want nothing terrible to happen to him, but I feel like something terrible has already happened to him. Alright, let's take the harpoon. What do we got going on up here? The next next save spot we get, we will probably call it. Because it's getting to be about that time. And the start of a chapter is usually a pretty decent spot to kind of stop. Especially since it is gonna be a few days before we get back to this one. What with
Same place as the photographs.
losing grip on ourselves. Since Friday is Indie Friday, and then we are starting the letter this weekend. Yeah. That's gonna be cool. We're gonna explore a little bit. Should probably save a lot of the exploration for Friday is Sandwich Friday as well. Yeah, I posted it in the server. I will also make sure to make a Twitter announcement about it. I'm trying to be better about using Twitter, and I am doing a very bad job of it. But Friday is Sandwich Day. Dinner sandwich time. We're gonna make a sandwich. I have all of the ingredients here. Hey! That's probably a good thing to be getting. But I'm glad you're going home, Allie! Yes. Health. We're gonna go ahead and use it. Oh, we got 2 of them. Yeah, let's go ahead and use at least one of those. So yeah, sandwich time. It'll be in our during our evening stream, 6 p.m. Central is when we will make sandwich. Around that time, obviously, I'll go live at that time. Around that time, and we'll figure it out. But it'll be the first thing that we do during the stream. Heck, I might eat a couple of them during stream, depending on how good they are. We'll see. That man is just hanging out. I don't want to use all my bullets. Yes, I do. We've gotten more. I want to know what's in these. What if it's good stuff? That was good. That was worth it. Also I still need to find some games for this weekend, but I'm excited because it has been a minute since we've done like a proper Indie Friday. And so we should have some options for indie games to be checking out. Yeah. Oh, Big Brian is falling off my head. Joseph! My boy! I don't really care for Joseph that much, honestly. I am invested in his lump story, though.
It felt like it was about to crack open. But now it's like I'm starting to get
What is this filter on
Kidman?
Joseph's face?
No.
Or I guess on everything.
Next thing
What
I knew,
is
I was
up with
here.
this? Or is that just my screen?
I must
That
have
might be my
blacked
TV,
out
actually.
I
As I
turned
look at it. But the sunlight's not moving. No, that's definitely
Inside.
the game.
Let's go.
It's weird. We aren't used to that here, it's true. That man has no mouth. This is not a great time. Don't.
Another one?
Don't axe it. Don't axe it. Okay, thank you. You see it too? Okay, good. It was weird. I didn't like it. It is weird seeing these dudes in sunlight, though.
Thing open. I'm working on it. Just give me a little time.
We don't have time. This is not great. Sucks for me. I am on fire, but you know what? That's okay. This kick? Oh, you want me to kick this? I understand. I am going to constantly set myself on fire. That's just what we have determined. No! No!
Can't hold them off much longer. Another moment. Just keep me covered.
No, Joseph, I need you to work faster, buddy. Alright, look, listen. Check it out, my guy. You need to hustle. Oh, fuck! Don't kick him. Oh, hi. No.
Let's go.
We'll just throw that there. And now it's not an issue. Hey, thanks for the things. Pickle juice. Love me some pickle juice. We're loving pickle hours here, okay? Fucking hell, Sebastian! Oh, I'm so done with this man and his refusal to reload a gun with any sort of...
I'll get the trap. You hold them up. There's twice as many
Stop!
of them. You've got time to complain. I've been hit. I need help.
You're fine. Joseph, you're fine! Joseph, you're fine! I'm dead. I am going to die. Did I pick up? I did. This is a bad place to do this. I have no ammo. This is a bad time to be doing any of this. Excuse me, coming through, excuse me, coming through, excuse, Joseph, excuse you, Joseph. Joseph, please, Joseph! I have died, I have a knife in my neck. I can still heal Joseph though, apparently. Hold on, this big Brian's gotta come off, I'm sorry. He won't stay there. Oh shit! Really? You're starting me here? I promise I'll make Brian better, so I can wear him for longer.
Can't hold them off much longer. Another moment. Just keep me covered.
Okay, let's... Can you not? Can you not chase me? I really wanted to just find a save point, but that's not gonna happen today. Hi, Dougie! That's fine, thank you for the lurk, friend! I hope you're doing well. Nope, 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 nope. Oh my god. Okay, let's just take a hot second to reload. I want to use this. I also want to put my grenade on number 4. Okay. Hop on down, grab the thing. Pick that up, pick that up. Pick that up. Maybe some of that too. Can we... That's not the most ideal of situations. Let's just take care of those a little bit. Welcome home, Ellie.
There's twice as many of them. We've got time
This
to
is
complain.
fucking terrible. Come here. Come here. I want to set you on fire. Come here. Get out of here. I don't know what these noises are. Joseph, do it. Be done. Joseph, have you done it? Hey, Joseph. Are we good? Can we go? No, stay down, please. Are there any items dropped around here? Yes. Yes, there are.
Let's go.
Let's go!
Quick, we're out.
Let's go! Good job! We did it, team! There has to be a safe spot over here. Please.
Let's
I
rest
hear
for a
it.
minute. We can't
Okay.
keep going at this pace.
I think we've got to get out of this place as fast as we can.
We're gonna, Joseph.
What
Don't
about the
worry
tower?
about it.
We might be able to get a lay of the land.
Alright.
Anything's got to be better than staying here.
Let's grab the things, since they're right here. Sniper rifle. Nice. Yeah, let's not look around. We'll just go here and save, because it is time for us to end.
How much longer am I needed here?
She is sick of our shit. Can't say I blame her. We have found quite a few pieces, but not nearly enough. Do we have a key? I don't think we do. These... Okay, they are closed. Partially open, basically, once we have emptied them out. Understood. We don't have a ton of pickle juice, do we? So there's no point in doing that. Yeah, we only have 800. Okay, that's fine. We can save. And, we'll call it there. Yeah? Let me exit out of the game right fast. Good progress. I am enjoying this. I just got a couple little issues with some of the way that the mechanics function, but that's okay. Not every game can be perfect. I am enjoying it though. I've kind of missed just doing nonsense. Just running around and blowing shit up and seeing the carnage that comes from that. So I like that. But yeah, shall we find a friend to go hang out with? Who shall we raid? Got quite a few people on right now. Looks like Mrs. Kiwi is doing some VHS, ATM Zero is doing Monster Hunter Rise, Toadsworthy is doing some Dead by Daylight, Ghosty is doing some Valorant, and Nyx Blackheart is doing the Night of the Rabbits. I am of the mind to hang out with ATM or Toads. I haven't seen them in a bit. I think we've seen Toads more recently. But yeah, Does anybody have any suggestions, recommendations? Always here for those. Yeah. ATM? Is that what I said? I said ATM, right? Not me already forgetting what the option is. Yeah, let's go watch ATM beat up some monsters. Alright. As always, thank y'all for being here, hanging out. I will see many of you on Friday. We'll do Witchwood in the afternoon, and then we'll do Sandwich and Indie Games in the evening. Is Cedar the Barefoot playing right now? We can go hang out with Cedar. I checked out their channel and I really liked their stuff. I guess I forgot to drop a follow though. I think they were live and I didn't want to. I got spooked. Alright, let's go hang out with Cedar the Barefoot. They're doing some Stardew Valley right now. It's all good. It's all good. Alright. But yeah, we'll see y'all later. Go check out our friend Cedar the Barefoot doing some Stardew. And I will see y'all later. Take care of your dang selves. Have a good rest of your time zone. Goodbye, friends.